Oh, hey guys, it's me, Mom. And I hope you're doing well. And tonight, the thing I was thinking of sharing about is kind of ideas or tips for when we or you or we need to purchase a new car or a used car. And I do have experience with this, and I'm not saying I'm not, like, you know what I mean, an expert on this, or this isn't my field of things or whatever, but I do have experience with it. And so anyway, I wanted to share some things that kind of like I've learned about this, or things I know about this or think I know about it. And just because when it comes to like buying a car, you know what I mean, whether it's new or used or whatever, it's usually not it's usually not a people's like on people's list of things to do that's like their favorite thing to do, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like it's kind of like it can be kind of creepy and yucky and things like that. So I just want to share some things that I know or have learned or whatever. So one thing I do that helps is if I need to purchase a car or used car or whatever, one thing that helps is to kind of give myself a framework of like, to say like I have 3 months to find a car. You know what I mean? And the thing that helps with is that a lot of times we think like we need to find a car today, or we have to find a car soon, or before that one car isn't there or runs out. And the thing I want to tell you is even if one car that you actually want isn't there, I guarantee another one's going to show up somewhere in that way. So and so that's one thing that helps. The other thing that helps is to one thing to know is that when you're dealing with like the car salesperson or the manager at the dealership or wherever the place that you go to is, one thing to know is that they do this like literally, that's what they do all day. Do you know what I mean? And most people that go in to get a car, that's not what they do all day. You know what I mean? And so in that way, they have the upper hand. They don't have the upper hand, but as far as that knowledge goes, that's what they do all day, is basically negotiate and try to get the best price, for them. In other words, so I'm not saying they have the upper hand, but I'm saying they do this all day. And so most people don't. And so where I'm going with that is that kind of like if you yourself, if you're the one going in to get the car, purchase the car, find a car, whatever, if you're the one who's going in, like if you have a confidence in that and it's something you have a confidence with and things like that, then go yourself, you know what I mean? But if you kind of know that that's not really your thing, then I would say to definitely bring someone with you, whether it's, your spouse, if you're married, your spouse, or, a friend, or, like if you have a child who's like a grown up, you know what I mean? Someone who has a confidence in that, who'll be able to say like, okay, we need to leave. This isn't working. We need to leave. Or to say like, no, that is not a good deal. You know what I mean? That can be helpful. Another thing to know is that it's okay to leave if you're in, like, let's say, just say you're in a dealership. If you don't like how it's going, or you feel pressured, or you don't like the price or whatever that they're offering, it's okay to leave. You know what I mean? And it's okay to walk away. And I will tell you, in my experience, they don't want you to leave. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of power in leaving if you need to. A lot of times I found that sometimes one time I had, the manager run out into the parking lot to say, what, well, we can work with you on this, come back. Or another time it was like, maybe we'll call you in the afternoon if we can think of something. And they called me like 10 minutes later and could think of something. Do you know what I mean? Also, the other thing to know is that there's usually more than one place to get a car. I like going in person, so, but what I mean is like, there's not just one dealership around me. There's more than one dealership around me that I can go to. And so in other words, you don't have to stick with just one place that you're going to, whether it's a dealership or that kind of thing. There's more than one place you can get a car at. And another thing is that to be polite, definitely, but be firm. You can be firm and have a confidence about it. You do not have to go along with what they say. You know what I mean? And so because they can be, my experience is that, especially with the manager that they'll come and talk to you, they can be, and my experience is that they usually are intimidating. And I wanted to let you know, you do not have to go along with what they say. You can walk away. And my experience is that they'll usually try to, find a good price. If you're willing to say this, this isn't really working. So, and walk away. And I find that they're usually, amenable to, definitely coming down on the price. And another thing to know is that when they start off with the price they give you, they are usually, I'll just say basically always, 99% starting at a really high price. Because, I don't know. Well, that's just what they do. So you don't have to go with that price. I definitely would not. They're going to start high because, that's just because that's what they do. And you don't have to go with that price. Another thing is, they appreciate it when we, as the customer, kind of don't waste their time in that way. Like if it's not going well, you can leave. The other thing is, if you feel that your time is being wasted, if they're kind of like taking too long on things, your time is valuable too. And in other words, you don't have to let them in that way waste your time as well. If you feel like your time is being wasted in that way, you can say, this is like to yourself, if you want, I'm done right now, and leave. So anyway, those are just some thoughts I have, with that. And, also another thing with purchasing a car is to, as much as when you're dealing with the negotiating with the salesperson and the manager, that kind of thing, one thing to do as much as you can is to, in other words, try and keep your emotions out of it in that way. So, I don't even know, if the person, I'll just try as much as you can to, okay, I don't even know what I was going to say. I mean, I kind of know what I was going to say, but I'm running out of time. So, so anyway, so these are just some things I was thinking of today to share with you. And, because it is something that it's like not something we have to do all the time. It's kind of rare in that way. So anyway, that's just what I was thinking of sharing. So anyway, I hope this was a little helpful, but if it wasn't, that's okay. Actually, I do think it was helpful, but a little. But anyway, love you so much. God bless you. Ciao.